Have you ever been walking down the street minding your own business, and suddenly a random dog comes running up to you, tail wagging, ears perked, eyes full of excitement, acting like you're the most important person in the world, and then, just as suddenly, it leaves someone else completely ignored? It's not magic, and it's not just about carrying treats or being a dog person. Some people seem to have an invisible dog magnet attached to them, and random dogs just can't resist. But why does this happen? Why do some strangers seem to attract dogs effortlessly while others are completely invisible to them? In this video, we're going to dive into the hidden reasons behind this fascinating behavior. From subtle movements you don't even notice to scents and signals your body gives off without realizing it. By the end, you'll start seeing yourself through a dog's eyes and understand exactly why these furry little strangers sometimes choose you out of the crowd. So if a dog ever approaches you unexpectedly, stay tuned. You're about to find out what's really going on behind those wagging tails. You might think dogs only care about treats or belly rubs, but the truth is, they're paying attention to tiny, almost invisible signals you send out, things you don't even notice. Dogs are incredibly tuned in to movement, rhythm, and body language. Even subtle cues like how you breathe, how your shoulders move, or the way you shift your weight while walking can make a big difference. Think about it. Have you ever noticed a dog approach someone calmly, sniff around for a second, and then immediately settle next to them? That's because the person's movements feel predictable and safe. Dogs are constantly assessing whether approaching is worth the risk. Sudden jerks, flailing arms, or fast, jerky movements can trigger caution, even fear. It's not just about avoiding danger. Dogs also notice friendly timing and rhythm. People who walk with a steady, relaxed pace or gesture gently are naturally more approachable. They're like a moving invitation. I'm safe. Come over. Some dogs even mimic the rhythm of humans they feel comfortable with. Tail wagging, matching your steps. Head tilts mirroring your posture. So next time a random dog comes up to you, think about the tiny movements you might be making that say, I'm friendly, I'm calm, I'm safe. These invisible signals can be stronger than words, louder than a treat, and more powerful than any toy in your hand. Dogs live in a world of smell, not sight. What we barely notice on ourselves. A trace of dog shampoo, a bit of peanut butter from lunch, or even the lingering scent of the dog you met yesterday is like a bright neon sign to a dog. Their noses are up to 100,000 times more sensitive than ours, which means they can detect scents we can't even imagine. It's not just food that draws them in. Dogs are curious creatures, and they remember smells associated with past experiences. If you recently walked a friend's dog or brushed past a park where other dogs played, you're carrying a small history of smells that tells a story. To a dog, this story might mean, this person has friends like me, they know my world, they're interesting. Even subtle residues, like the scent of another animal, leftover crumbs, or traces of a park adventure, can make you irresistible to a random dog. They might approach you not because of who you are in the moment, but because your scent hints at familiarity, fun, or comfort. And here's a little secret. Dogs can even pick up chemical changes in your body, like stress or excitement, which mix with your scent. So if you're calm and relaxed, your scent signals safety. If you're anxious, it might make them hesitant. Next time a random dog suddenly trots up to you, it's worth taking a moment to notice. What smells are you carrying today? It's not just curiosity. They're reading your history, your energy, and your story all through scent. Have you ever noticed that some dogs seem to click with certain people instantly? It's not just coincidence. Dogs are masters at reading energy. They can sense your heart rate, your body tension, and even subtle patterns in your movement. Essentially, they feel your natural rhythm, and if it matches theirs, they're drawn to you. For example, a playful, high-energy dog will often approach someone whose movements are lively and engaging. Conversely, a calm, laid-back dog may gravitate towards someone who moves slowly and exudes peace. Dogs are constantly scanning for energy compatibility, and it's one of the reasons some people seem to be natural magnets for random dogs. It's not something you need to do on purpose. In fact, the most attractive energy is genuine. Dogs can sense when someone is forcing playfulness or faking calm. They know the difference. If your natural energy is relaxed, steady, and approachable, dogs feel safe and comfortable around you. That safety encourages them to come closer, sniff, and sometimes even sit quietly at your side. Even subtle things like how you breathe or how quickly you react to sudden movements can affect whether a dog decides to approach. A slow, steady rhythm tells them, no sudden surprises, this is safe. A tense, jerky rhythm can signal stress or threat, keeping them at a distance. So next time a random dog comes up to you, it might just be your energy syncing perfectly with theirs. Dogs aren't just sniffing for treats, they're sensing a harmony that makes them feel at home around you. Sometimes a dog will approach you and it feels almost like they already know you, even though you've never met before. That's because dogs are experts at recognizing subtle patterns of humanity. They notice height, build, posture, facial features, and even the way you carry yourself. And these tiny details can trigger a sense of familiarity. This is called the Doppelganger Effect in dogs. If you resemble someone a dog has bonded with before, your appearance might spark positive memories or comfort, making them more likely to approach. It's not magic, it's their brain linking visual patterns to past experiences. It doesn't have to be an exact match. Even general similarities like a beard, a tall stature, or the way you tilt your head can be enough to pique a dog's curiosity and trust. That's why some dogs will rush to greet strangers who remind them of a beloved friend or family member. Dogs also pay attention to movement patterns and body rhythm. If your gestures or gait resemble someone they know and trust, they can feel instantly at ease. This unconscious recognition often explains why some random dogs gravitate towards certain people in a crowd while ignoring others. So the next time a random dog trots up to you like an old friend, consider that it might not just be your energy or scent. It could be your body and face triggering a sense of familiarity even if you don't realize it. To a dog, these little patterns are huge signals that say, I know you, you're safe, I can trust you. Believe it or not, what you wear can catch a dog's attention just as much as your energy or scent. Dogs are highly observant of visual patterns and movement, and unusual or flowing items of clothing can spark curiosity. Think about scarves fluttering in the wind, backpacks swaying as you walk, or even bold colors and patterns. Dogs notice these movements and textures immediately. They stand out in their environment and signal something interesting. Sometimes, a dog will approach not because of who you are, but because you're moving differently than everything else around them. Dogs also respond to contrast. Bright or unusual colors, sharp patterns, and even reflective surfaces can make you visually pop to a dog's eyes. For instance, a yellow jacket or a patterned bag can act like a beacon, attracting attention from afar. It's not just about catching their eye. Dogs are natural explorers. If something moves in an unusual way, they feel compelled to investigate. That's why you might notice certain random dogs approaching people with flowing jackets, hats, or other items that sway with their movements. So next time a dog comes up to you, part of the reason might be as simple as your clothing and movement patterns creating intrigue. To a dog, it's like a moving puzzle or a playful invitation. I want to check this out. Dogs are naturally cautious animals. Even friendly, social dogs need to feel safe before they fully engage. When a random dog approaches you, it's often because they've picked up on subtle cues that signal safety, consciously or unconsciously. A dog scans everything: your posture, your facial expressions, the way you hold your arms, even the tone of your voice. If you move slowly, keep your body relaxed, and avoid sudden gestures, you're sending a silent message. I'm safe. You can come closer. Dogs pick up on this immediately, often within seconds of noticing you, but it's more than just posture. Dogs sense emotional energy and tension. People who are calm, grounded, and non-threatening naturally invite curiosity and approachability. On the flip side, if you're anxious, tense, or flailing, dogs might keep their distance, unsure if you're safe. Sometimes random dogs will even test you first, sniffing cautiously, circling, or sitting a few steps away. This is their way of evaluating if they can trust you. If you respond gently, avoid sudden movements, and give them space to investigate, it strengthens the bond instantly. They feel like they can approach without risk, which is why you might see them linger longer with some people. Dogs live in a world rich with chemical communication. While we might barely notice it, our bodies constantly give off pheromones and chemical signals, and dogs are masters at interpreting them. These invisible cues can tell a dog a lot about you, your emotional state, your level of calm, and even your recent activities. For example, if you're relaxed and confident, your pheromones signal safety. Dogs pick up on this and are naturally drawn to you. Conversely, stress or anxiety releases different chemicals that may make a dog hesitant or cautious. unconscious. It's not something you can fake. Dogs sense the real energy behind these chemical messages. Interestingly, dogs can also pick up on pheromones associated with hormones and other bodily changes. That's why some dogs may pay extra attention during subtle shifts, like after exercise or during certain hormonal cycles. They aren't judging, they're just processing information that their noses and brains are wired to read. Even the traces of other animals you've been around, like a dog you walked earlier, can mix with your own scent to create a fascinating scent story. This story makes you curious, familiar, or safe in a way that dogs instinctively understand. So when a random dog approaches seemingly out of nowhere, part of the reason could be this subtle chemical dialogue. They're reading signals you didn't even know you were giving, and if those signals say friendly and safe, you've just become irresistible to a dog without lifting a finger. Sometimes it feels like a random dog just likes you, but often it's a reflection of their past experiences. Dogs have incredible memories, especially when it comes to positive or negative interactions with people. These experiences create patterns that guide who they feel comfortable approaching. For instance, if a dog has previously bonded with someone who moved calmly, spoke softly, or had a gentle energy, they may seek out similar traits in new people. On the other hand, dogs that have experienced fear or rough handling may approach cautiously or avoid certain types of people altogether. Their approach is rarely random. It's shaped by a combination of instinct and learned experience. Even subtle cues from your behavior or appearance can remind a dog of someone from their past. Maybe it's the way you crouch down, tilt your head, or smile gently, behaviors that echo previous positive connections. Dogs are experts at recognizing these patterns and responding accordingly. Rescue or stray dogs are especially influenced by past experiences. They've learned to identify humans who are likely safe, calm, and trustworthy. If they sense these qualities in you, they'll approach more readily, sometimes testing the waters at first with cautious sniffing or circling before settling in. So the next time a random dog comes up to you, consider that part of the reason may be their past guiding their present actions. They're not acting purely on curiosity. They're responding to memories, instincts, and experiences that make them feel secure and welcomed in your presence. One of the most powerful things that draws random dogs to some people is genuine calmness. Dogs are constantly scanning their environment for threats or stress signals, and a person who radiates calm and steadiness is naturally inviting. It's more than just being still. It's a combination of relaxed posture, slow and deliberate movements, and a peaceful energy that dogs can sense. When you exude this type of calm, it sends a silent message. I'm safe. I'm predictable. I'm not a threat. For dogs, this is incredibly reassuring, especially for shy, anxious, or rescue dogs who may have experienced trauma. Dogs are emotional mirrors, and they pick up on micro signals we often overlook: your breathing rate, muscle tension, and even subtle facial expressions. If these signals indicate composure and confidence, dogs feel comfortable approaching and lingering near you. In contrast, if your body is tense, jittery, or rushed, dogs are more likely to keep their distance. This is why some people can walk through a park and have dogs naturally gravitate toward them without doing anything intentional. It's not about treats, toys, or even words. It's the magnetic pull of calm energy that dogs are drawn to instinctively. Next time a random dog comes up and curls up by your feet or sniffs you with interest, take a moment to recognize the power of your presence. Your calmness is doing the talking, creating a safe space that dogs can't resist. Dogs are naturally curious creatures. When a random dog approaches you, it's often a mix of investigative instinct and playful interest. Even if they don't know you, something about your presence sparks their curiosity. It could be the way you move, a bag you're carrying, the scent of your lunch, or simply the calm energy you radiate. Dogs are constantly assessing their surroundings, and if something seems interesting yet safe, they feel encouraged to investigate. This curiosity is paired with a sense of playfulness. Approaching a new person is like a small, fun adventure for them. Dogs also use play as a social signal. When a dog trots up, wags its tail, or bows, it's testing whether interaction with you will be positive. If you respond with gentle gestures or soft words, they're likely to engage further, sniffing, circling, or staying by your side. This sequence, curiosity, testing, and interaction, is how dogs naturally explore the world and form connections. Even random encounters can lead to bonds, especially when dogs sense that a person can be predictable, safe, safe and fun. They're constantly evaluating. Can I trust this human? Is it safe to play? Do I like being around them? Your body language, energy, and responsiveness guide them through this decision-making process. So the next time a random dog comes up to you with an excited sniff or playful nudge, know that it's not just chance. Their approach is a careful balance of curiosity and playfulness, a natural instinct that leads them toward people who feel both safe and intriguing. So why do random dogs often come up to you? As we've seen, it's a fascinating mix of factors. Your scent, energy, body language, voice, past experiences, calmness, and even playful curiosity all play a role. Dogs are finely tuned observers, reading cues we might not even notice, and responding in ways that can feel almost magical. Next time a dog approaches you, take a moment to appreciate what they're sensing. It's not just luck. They're reacting to a combination of invisible signals, subtle chemical messages, and the energy you naturally emit. You've created a space that feels safe, approachable, and intriguing. A place where they can satisfy their curiosity and maybe even find comfort. If you've ever had a random dog come up to you, think about what might have drawn them in. Was it your calm energy, a friendly voice, your scent, or even your playful movements? Chances are it was a mix of all these things, and now you know why dogs seem to choose certain people almost effortlessly. Dogs are incredible creatures, and understanding the reasons behind their behavior helps us connect with them on a deeper level. So the next time you encounter a friendly stranger with wagging tails, you'll know it's more than coincidence. It's science, instinct, and connection all rolled into one. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss more insights into canine behavior. Share your experiences in the comments. Have you ever had a random dog choose you? We'd love to hear your stories and explore this fascinating bond together.